Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS reporters Robert Paris, Chris Flaherty, Veris Conley, Ryan Brown, Carter Ames, Juliana McGrain with sports, and Gretchen Carey with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. Burlington is experiencing a period of leadership change, with several key positions being filled, as we've been reporting over the past several weeks. John Denizio has taken over as town administrator following Paul Sagarino's departure, leaving the assistant town administrator's role open. At the recent select board meeting, Denizio recommended Patrick Lawler Andover's chief administrative and financial officer as Burlington's new assistant town administrator and finance director. The select board was unanimously in favor.
I think he'll make a fantastic assistant town administrator. I know I'm an N of one, but again, when we talk about bringing people to Burlington, when we talk about keeping the bar high, raising the bar, not resting on our laurels, it comes down to doing this type of work, bringing in the right people with the right mindset, who are going to continue to lead and drive things forward for the community. So I'm super excited to have Patrick on board. Look forward to working with him.
So there isn't one area of local government that he hasn't overseen or been acting town clerk, he's held down almost every municipal leadership that you can think of. He's one of the most well-rounded candidates for a position that you could ask for, and he's coming from a town similar to ours that has the similar issues, and so he's kind of got experience coming into this town itself with issues that are relative to Burlington. But talk about a well-rounded candidate, just checks all the boxes for me.
Your resume and your wealth of experience kind of speaks for itself, but then you have a conversation with you and you can really understand that your ideas, your goals, and your passion for local government and public service is so apparent.
I have to be honest that you have exceeded all of my expectations on finding a candidate. We feel very fortunate that we're in this position to be able to bring you on board to add to our great team. It makes me so excited for the future of Burlington and the future of our town and our team to get a gentleman of your caliber. And seeing on paper was great, but when I got to sit down and speak with you, you had me at hello.
Patrick Lawler expressed his excitement for the new position that will begin June 1.
I've been in public service my whole career. I've been in municipal government for the last 8 years, and I can think of no better chapter than the one I'm about to embark on. And I'm very excited, and I look forward to serving.
Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you.
Town treasurer and tax collector Gary Gianino is retiring after 5 years on the job. However, his service to the town runs much deeper. Robert Paris has the story.
After nearly 40 years in local government, Treasurer-Collector Gary Gianino will be retiring on June 6th. Originally from Medford, Gianino moved to town in the 80s and was interested in local government.
In the fall of '85, when I moved into town, I was getting the local newspaper. In the newspaper, there was a notice that there was an opening for Ways and Means. I had been involved a bit in Medford and wanted to do something in Burlington. There was an opening in my precinct, so I contacted the members of the precinct and got my first time getting elected to town meeting was by about 9 people.
He hit the ground running after his first year as a town meeting member, joining Ways and Means in '87 through April '93.
You learn a lot by being on the Ways and Means, as they call it, the Burlington Committee, and as a town meeting member. I learned a lot in a short period of time, and so I did that till '93.
His longest tenure was 18 years as a select board member from April '93 through March 2011.
I found it very rewarding most of the time. Again, it was an interesting board. I went through different members, but I got to know many of the department heads and saw how hard they worked.
Gary's last select board meeting was on March 28th, 2011, where in his mind, he knew it was time for a new chapter.
18 years was a long time, 6 terms, and I always told people, if in any elected, if the person that comes before you is the focus of your attention versus the issue, then you have to start to think about, are you doing a service to the town? You can't make it personal. I'm not saying that happened, but at some point I realized some of the things were being repeated. some of the things, and new ideas were needed.
He returned to town meeting in 2014 until a position opened up in May 2020, the treasurer collector, which was previously held by Brian Curtin.
And when the appointment for treasurer came up, I had all the financial experience, and I applied and appointed in March for June 1st. So I had resigned from my company and came here. So it's been a rewarding 5 years. I had a very good, strong team, dedicated team, and it took some getting used to me. It's a different, and my predecessor, Brian Curtin, had things in order.
What will he miss the most? The people he has interacted with over the years.
I enjoy coming into work. I enjoy interacting with we sometimes joke about the first floor of Town Hall versus the second floor. But with the clerk's office, the assessor's office, my team, I'm going to miss that.
It is a perfect time to retire as Gary enjoys the summer months.
People have asked me what I'm going to do. I have a place in Ossipee, New Hampshire. I'm going to spend more time up there. 3 grandchildren now, but I'm going to miss people here. And I'm sure I'll stay somewhat involved. I'm not going back to town meeting. I think I will not run for anything else.
Congratulations, Gary, on your hard work and dedication to the town of Burlington. From Burlington Town Hall, I'm Robert Paris for BNews Weekly.
BNews reporter Chris Flaherty visited new town clerk Jennifer Priest to see how she's adjusting to her new role.
A new chapter has begun in Burlington. Amy Warfield has retired, and for the last month, Jennifer Priest has been Burlington's new town clerk.
It's been, oddly we'll say, fun. It's been very interesting. I've been enjoying learning all the bits and pieces that I wasn't aware of. Kind of been a whirlwind jumping in there.
Priest has had the opportunity to work alongside her predecessor, Amy Warfield, in the weeks leading up to her retirement.
Amy was a great resource. I'm glad that we're able to keep her on as a contact. She's going to be a resource for me moving forward for the next year. It was great getting to know her more and helping, with that transition for her into her retirement.
Priest and her office are gearing up for her first town meeting as clerk in a few short weeks.
I think we have a good grasp on things. Everyone's been very kind and helpful. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of energy as we get closer to it, but definitely know there's a lot more work going into it these last few weeks. I would love to thank Amy and the staff for all the work they've done. It's been great getting into the role and kind of getting my bearings, and I appreciate all the work that they've done because it's definitely more than what they would usually be doing to kind of make sure that I'm up to speed. I would like to thank my family for tolerating all the long nights that I've recently been throwing in here. I'm sure once things settle in a little more, we can find a nice little balance.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNews Weekly.
As our new town clerk is gearing up for town meetings, so are the town departments, with the 2025 fiscal budget being set forth for approval, as well as some capital projects. For a breakdown of those projects, visit our website, where BNews reporter Chris Flaherty lays out what projects are in the warrant and links to the meeting discussions. Article 35, a zoning change requested by the Planning Board, created much discussion and concern with the Select Board. Let's have a look.
My concerns are, first of all, how it is perceived or looks to our developers. We created the zoning around the mall to attract developers in the hopes that they'd fill those empty spaces in town that need it with both housing and commercial spaces. It was approved by town meeting as is, got a lot of positive attention and press across the state. The governor even praised the town. Simon Properties and the Broad Institute were in favor of it and submitted letters to town meeting stating so. And now to go back so quickly and say, actually, there are several uses in that area that we are going to require a special permit, to me feels like a bait and switch. It does not show good faith in the zoning to do its job, or send the message that Burlington is friendly to our developers. So my second concern is that it sort of goes against the original vision and purpose of this zoning. The intent was to encourage and incentivize a variety of uses in that area, making it more flexible and therefore more desirable. So by making these areas more restrictive, so that certain uses would have to go through the more rigorous special permit process, is sort of, to me, a step backwards from the goals of the project.
Thank you, Sarah. And I was a little concerned with trying to make these changes with something that was passed so overwhelmingly by town meeting. And it was a 3-year project by Melissa that has been vetted and checked and double-checked. And suddenly in the very next town meeting, we're trying to make changes on some of the use table.
The board will host a joint meeting with the planning board on May 12 prior to town meeting for discussion on the article. The joint meeting, as well as town meeting, will be live on BCAT as well as live streamed. Burlington nonprofit Help Us is dedicated to its mission to spread kindness and help those in need. Founder and president Joyce Delianos was honored with a proclamation from the select board this week, designating Burlington as Burlington Kind. Joyce was thanked for her vision and dedication. We dug into our archives to take a look at how it all started back in 2012.
One Burlington resident who knows a lot about giving all year long is Joyce Delianos. She has been featured on NBC Nightly News and honored at the TD Garden for her good deeds. BNEWS met with her to discuss a nonprofit she has started to expand charitable works in the community.
And also thank you everyone, the board, the committee, and so many people from the town that they came forward, and they're still coming forward. We want to be there for you, Joyce. We want to be there for you, Joyce. And it's incredible. It's overwhelming, the impact that it has had on people, just to know that I'm working on a sidewalk actually, and people say, anything you need, Joyce.
Joyce has touched many people with her kindness.
I've been a client of Joyce's for a long time, having my hair done with Joyce for about 15 years now. And Joyce, I remember the first day in February when I went to you at my appointment, you had an idea to start giving free haircuts to people who are unemployed because so many people were coming to you because of the expense. And so it began that day, and then 6 months later, I was unemployed. And I went to you for the free haircut. And since then, so much has developed, and we're now a nonprofit organization giving help to people in various ways. But it all began with that simple idea of free haircuts.
People stop of giving because they don't know where or how to. They think they should give big. No, something like as simple as a haircut, look what it's done. It has exploded to become an incredible movement.
This past year, during the NBA playoffs, Joyce was honored by the Boston Celtics Shamrock Foundation at the TD Garden.
In 2009, as a professional hairstylist, Joyce witnessed firsthand the toll the bad economy was taking on her clients. Week after week, clients were canceling because they could not afford the luxury. Realizing she needed to help in some way, Joyce began providing free haircuts on her day off to those in need. To date, she has incredibly given over 2,500 free haircuts and has founded the Help Is Foundation to further her cause. For her compassion and generous support of those in need, please join the Celtics in welcoming tonight's hero among us, Joyce Delianos.
Make a movement on the local level, invite all the organizations and all the people that they give individuals to come together and celebrate the month of May as a month of kindness.
Her story of giving is a reflection of the goodwill that exists in the Burlington community. Joyce hopes she will inspire others to do good works in their daily lives and help others. Signing off for BNews Weekly, this is Patrick Chin. Back to the studio.
This year's Middlesex 3 Coalition's annual meeting emphasized clean and advanced technology. The event featured a keynote address by Dr. Emily Reichart, CEO of the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center, who shared insights on clean energy growth in the region.
The Middlesex 3 Coalition, whose mission is to bring together businesses, municipalities, and academic institutions along the Route 3 corridor, recently held their annual meeting with a focus on climate tech and clean tech, with keynote speaker Dr. Emily Reichart, CEO of the Massachusetts Clean Energy Center.
Clearly, there's some action going on here in climate and climate tech.
We wanted to highlight clean tech and clean tech companies in this region. It's such a growing field, as you heard from our keynote speaker.
I was here to talk about the economic development opportunity that is climate tech here in the Commonwealth.
And that there's a lot of opportunity in this area as well, too. So we wanted to have it at this building because this is a beautiful building for a clean tech company as well, too. So there's a lot of opportunities. We've got the workforce, the real estate, the resources. And so we're really looking to welcome and bring more clean tech companies companies into the region.
I think there's so much opportunity in this region. There is talent here. There are businesses that are growing. It's just a burgeoning area for climate tech and for industry that is growing all around us.
From the Middlesex 3 Coalition annual meeting, I'm BNEWS reporter Ted Stefanak.
The Burlington Area Chamber of Commerce held its annual spring soiree last week at the Archer Hotel in Burlington. The event draws a large and diverse cross-section of chamber members to meet, mingle, and celebrate the accomplishments of the previous year, all while enjoying delicious food and beverages. BACC President Rick Parker reflected on the accomplishments and services the chamber provides. We are proud of our record providing resources and opportunities to help small business thrive while also supporting the needs of large enterprises that drive innovation and economic growth. We will continue to serve as a unifying voice for all sectors of the local business community and look forward to addressing and collaborating on the challenges of the coming year. Temple Shalom Emeth held its annual Holocaust Memorial Service recently. BNews reporter Varys Conley was there and spoke with the keynote speaker.
On April 25th, the Temple Shalom Emeth held a Holocaust Memorial Service where author Julie Brill spoke about her new book, meant to draw attention to the experiences of the Jews in Serbia during that time.
So it's called Hidden in Plain Sight, a family memoir and the untold story of the Holocaust in Serbia. And it's the story of me trying to figure out how my father survived the Holocaust in Belgrade, Yugoslavia as a young Jewish child, and the greater story of the Holocaust in Serbia. I never could understand how the family story fit into the larger story because it's not the story that we learned. So I started just gathering family data, and then when I realized this story has not been told, there are no books in the Holocaust Memorial Museum on Yugoslavia, I felt like I had to write the book, and now this book will be there. I think when we talk about individual people, we name them, we can show pictures, we can tell a little bit about who they are. My family story is actually more typical. It's of how most of the Jews in the Holocaust were murdered, which is outside of camps, near where they lived, no cattle cars, no gas chambers. That's the story I wanted to tell.
Today was our interfaith commemoration of Holocaust Memorial Day, and we do this every single year, and it's our way of memorializing all of our Jewish brothers and sisters who were killed during the Holocaust, as well as millions of people of other faiths. You know, when we hear individual stories, it really brings home the reality of what a devastating impact it has on not just the people who were killed, but all of their relatives. I think this year's Holocaust service is different than in previous years because of the political situation in our country. We survived because others stood up for us, so we need to stand up for others so they won't be impacted in a horrible way.
This has been Varys Connolly from BNews.
May the 4th has become a holiday of sorts in recent years, and unfortunately not because it's my birthday. Carter Ames has the story.
Hello everybody, I am Carter Ames, and today we are at the May the 4th celebration at Wildwood Park. May 4th has become commonly known as Star Wars Day, and the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department celebrated with a special event.
Star Wars is pretty popular all across the world, and so throughout the years, May the 4th events have been spotted all around, and then we also seen them at Disney World and whatnot, and so we thought, why can't we do our own little spin on it?
The day was filled with a variety of activities from local organizations.
Yeah, so we have the Garden Club as well as the library here doing some activities. The Garden Club is doing like a potted plant thing. You can make your own plant in spring season. And then at the library, we also have some Star Wars themed activities. Families have been going over there. We also have cornhole, as well as Stormtrooper Blaster, and also you can throw frogs at the Stormtroopers and knock them down.
I also asked Andrew what his favorite part about Star Wars is.
I'd probably say my favorite part of Star Wars is probably the lightsabers, just the idea of like you can choose your own color. I still love the movies and whatnot, and so it's really something for the whole family.
The co-presidents of the Burlington Garden Club always enjoyed the festivities.
Well, this is the 4th year that we've been invited by the rec department to do a child's activity for this event that they put on every year for the Springapalooza.
and we're doing planting sunflower seeds in ice cream cones.
For BNEWS Weekly, I'm Carter Ames. May the 4th be with you.
The Burlington Police Department and Special Olympics joined together for a fun and unique fundraiser at the Tavern in the Town Square. Our intern, Ryan Brown, was there and has this report.
Hi, I'm Ryan Brown, here at the Tavern in the Square for the Tip-A-Cop fundraiser. This week, instead of the usual staff, diners at Tavern in the Square were met with some surprising new faces. Burlington police officers serving tables for a cause.
We're here at Tavern in the Square here in Burlington. They're doing this at multiple other locations. Tip-A-Cop, so the Burlington Police partners with Tavern in the Square and the Special Olympics Massachusetts and the Law Enforcement Torch Run. And we're all here in support of the Special Olympics, trying to get donations, people to understand what this program is and how much they do for special athletes.
When approached by both organizations, Tavern in the Square were more than happy to host the event.
Oh, we are so honored to host local law enforcement and also the Special Olympics program here tonight. We're hoping to provide a space for all to come in and help this organization raise money for such a great awareness.
But officers are not the only ones waiting tables. Yashnir Saeed, an athlete and ambassador for the Special Olympics, was also there, meeting people and lending a hand.
John, one of our athletes, he's here. This is his first event too. He's getting out here, meeting people, talking about the Special Olympics, what he loves to play, and why he likes to be part of this program. So I think just seeing some of the athletes here and building a rapport with our community. Special Olympics is something that we really care about, and the people coming in are donating, doing the same thing, getting to know us, and putting a good face with the program.
Yes, so far I've liked doing Special Olympics basketball with them, where I'm on a team known as the Blue Devils.
Officer Dominic Colicchio is the man behind this year's fundraiser, and he wants to use this event as an opportunity to aid the Special Olympics and to educate others.
So I'm actually the liaison for the Burlington Police Department for Special Olympics. So I've been to a lot of events over the years. This is the first time that I've been in charge of hosting one of these fundraisers. And it's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. It's just a program that I fully stand behind, the Burlington Police Department fully stands behind, and just want to give back to the kids, give back to this organization, let kids have fun. We talk about inclusion in sports and getting out there and playing.
With such a great event, it really goes to show how easy it can be to make a difference. I'm Ryan Brown with BNews.
Up next is sports with Giuliana McGrain after your community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your community calendar. On May 16th from 5:30 p.m. to 9 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a community game night and pizza party. Children and teens must attend with a caregiver and may not be dropped off alone. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, go to the library website. Also on May 16th at 9:30 a.m., 3rd Avenue will be having Jam Baby come and perform. Pre-registration is required. On May 18th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Help Us will be having a kindness celebration at the Burlington Town Common. Everyone is welcome to attend. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your community calendar.
Hey everyone, I'm Giuliana McGrain, and this is your weekly sports report. Girls lacrosse had a huge 13-4 win at home against Woburn on May 2nd. They will have a road trip in Winchester on Thursday afternoon. The team is currently 4-7 and are 4th in the Freedom Division, with Melrose at the top, Wilmington in 2nd, and Watertown in 3rd. Boys lacrosse also had a huge win against Woburn with a 19-2 victory. The team is currently 6-7 after a 4-19 loss in Andover on Tuesday. They will be back home with Winchester on Thursday. They're 2nd in the Freedom Division standings with Wakefield at the top and Stoneham in 3rd. Boys baseball lost to Winchester at home 2-13 on May 2nd. The team is currently 6-5 and will host Melrose on Thursday afternoon. They are currently 3rd place in the Freedom Division standings with Wakefield at the top and Melrose in 2nd. Girls softball is on a roll with a 3-game win streak. A blowout 19-8 win in Winchester on May 2nd, a 13-12 home game against Woburn on May 4th, and a 4-3 in Belmont on the 7th. The team is currently 7-6 and will host Melrose on May 8th. They're third in the Freedom Division standings, with Wakefield on the top and Wilmington in second. Boys volleyball had 3 losses this past week at home against Greater Lowell Tech, Billerica, and in Belmont. They will have another home game against Winchester on Thursday afternoon. Girls and boys track both had incredible wins against Watertown last Thursday night. The girls won 112-24 and the boys won 26-10. Many athletes had personal records and season records in this meet. To see the results and more, go to bcattv.org/sports. Currently, the girls are 2-1 and the boys are undefeated at 3-0. They will be home on May 14th against Wakefield and Stoneham. Girls tennis lost back-to-back matches on the road in Belmont 1-4 on the 2nd and 0-5 in Winchester on the 7th. Burlington is currently 4-7 and will host Watertown on Thursday. Boys tennis also lost back-to-back matches at home against Belmont 2-3 on May 1st and 1-4 against Winchester on May 7th. They will be in Watertown on Thursday afternoon and are currently 6-5. Burlington is still top place in the Freedom standings with Wakefield in second and Melrose in third. The Red Devils eSport team spring season came to an end at Fisher College last Saturday in the state championship. Both Mario Kart and Rocket League lost in their matchups. Congratulations to everyone who finished in the finals. Head coach Leroy Wong said in a quote, "We will miss our seniors, Yusuf Al-Maliki, Matt Ovison, and Fabian Thaber, but we thank them for their contributions and wish them the best luck in college. We will have more updates on all of the games and meets next week. For more Red Devil action, check out our sports section at bcattv.org/sports and follow us on X at BNEWS Sports. That's all for this week. I am Gianino McGrain. Back to you guys in the studio.
We have a special Red Devil shout out to Lady Devil softball star Maddie King. Let's look.
Senior Maddie King of Lady Devil softball made her 100th career hit in the game against Melrose in mid-April. She knew it was coming and was a goal of hers for a while.
When I was a freshman, I was like, I might be able to hit 100 hits, and then everyone was posting on Instagram about their 100 hits, and I finally got it, and I was like, this is just, it was a great day. It was a really special moment for me. Like, when I stepped up to the plate, I looked over my parents, and I was just like thinking about everything we've accomplished over my 4 years playing high school, and I'm just really proud of our team.
First-year head coach Kelly Pissotti is proud of her senior leader.
This year as a senior, she's really stepped up from leading captain's practices, starting rallies, just being a great teammate, being vocal, picking each other up. No one deserves it more, but we're very proud of her, and it's a big accomplishment for her, and we're glad we got to see it during her senior year.
This season is the last time King competes as a Red Devil, but she will continue her softball career this fall.
Yeah, I'm going to play softball at Springfield College, so it's going to be great. I'm going to study physical therapy. Really excited. I'm just going to miss the people. The people are amazing, and coming to practice every day just like brightens up my day.
Congratulations, Maddie, on getting your 100th career hit. This is the Red Devil Shoutout.
Our photo of the week was sent in by Jane Lynch. It features her Nova Scotia duck taller, Hudson, interested in smelling the skunk cabbage and enjoying the wetland trail at Mary Cummings Park. Thank you for the photo, Jane. We'd like to see your photos. The photos could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or even photos of family members and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share, send them to bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. And that's it from the news desk at BNews Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher. Next week we'll have a full recap of a town meeting, look at the promenade, and one other thing which escapes me, which is the BHS musical. Thank you for joining us.